Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe, and let's get into it guys. Another devblog, and a very odd one. So yes guys, I already did actually a video talking about this when it was actually leaked, but it was actually removed from the CDK in the last patch cycle, right? And now it's going to be added, for real. The squadron vehicle T90S Bhishma. So yes, this is a T90 for Britain. So the British will actually receive an Indian T90S. So this is an export model of the original T90A, right? And it has a few modifications done to it. We're going to talk about it, but first of all, we need to address the main thing about this is that yes, they are actually adding a T90 for the British tech tree. They say how they are basically adding this because of the way that the challengers work and everything. It's a very particular way that they drive and play. And with this, it actually gives the British a little bit of a more broader way of dealing with enemies, having a little bit of a different, type of tank. But the thing is that this tank is not going to be on the tech tree. It's actually a squadron vehicle, so you will need to be in a squadron or buy it with GE, right? But if you are in a squadron, if you have a very large one, it should be fairly easy to get it. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but even with that, it should be very easy to get. It just takes time because you know how squadron vehicles work, right? So yeah, very interesting decision to add this, and it kind of opens up a little bit of a precedent to add Soviet vehicles, as I did a video during the weekend, to other nations. Will we see more of these? We don't know, but they confirmed that more British tanks will be added to the British line, maybe with exports on it. And we probably will see some other nations receiving this type of thing. But I honestly, if it's a squadron vehicle, it's okay, right? I don't think it should be in the tech tree, this thing, but as a squadron vehicle, I think it's perfect. It's not a premium, so it's not behind a paywall. It's not an event vehicle, so it doesn't needs its amazing grind that normally event vehicles have. So a squadron vehicle, it's fairly easy to get. It just takes a lot of time, but still, it is very interesting. So let's talk about the T90S itself. So basically, it was a T90 with its own specification, basically, for the Indians, right? So some smaller changes, some bigger changes. You can obviously see the new dozer over here. So yeah, this is one of the differences. The other one is that they removed the APS, the Stotta system, right? So instead of that, it has more contact 5. So obviously it is a normal T90A, so it uses contact 5. But instead of having the Stotta over here, it actually has more contact ERA, right? With that, it is a little bit more protected on the turret, but as you see, it still has a little bit of a weak spot over there on the right, on the left side of the turret. Let's see if we can actually show. No, this is the best picture. So you can see here, right here, it is lacking a little bit. This is due to the IR light, basically, that got removed as well in a certain way, and added on top of the tank with smaller ones and stuff. So this is the main thing. The turret is a different one, apparently. They say it's a new welded turret. It might be more similar to something like a T90M or something like that. I don't know exactly. It's just a different turret inside, but not by much, it is pretty much the same. The main thing about the armor is the NBC protection. So the nuclear anti-radiation protection is a little bit thicker, so technically you will have a little bit more armor, but it's very minor. Also, it has more protection under the tank, if I'm not mistaken, and a little bit of a different engine or something like that. They don't talk too much about it in the Devblog, but still, it still uses the normal 2A46, I think it's called, right? Smoothbore cannon. So the BM60 and stuff like that will be used, and ATGMs as well. And yeah, we'll have the power reverse, so don't worry. this will have the power reverse, and everything else will be very similar to the T90. So yeah, very cool tank, I gotta be honest, but it is odd that they are adding it for the British tech tree. Hopefully it has its own camouflages, because I don't want to see a British camouflage in an Indian Russian tank, right? So yeah, it will be cool to use this, but I don't know, it feels very weird to see a T90 in the British tech tree, and as I said, it opens up a little bit of a precedent of adding stuff like this. I mean, they can even add a MiG-29 if they want to now as a squadron vehicle for the UK. So, kind of weird, right? I mean, a Rafale, whatever they want, right? So I don't think they will do that, but if they're adding this tank, which is one of the main battle tanks of the Indians, as a squadron vehicle and not as a tech tree vehicle, it means that they are not going to add a sub tree for the Indians in the UK, I would say. It feels like it's not going to be that. So at least we have that going for it. You know, it's very unique, and I don't think it's going to be like a full tech tree. Another cool thing that I just realized that is this, man. Look at the fuel tanks. They are cut in half so that the turret is not like blocked by it. If you know, these external fuel tanks are used in Soviet tanks since like the end of World War II and even before maybe. And basically they blocked the turret of looking behind you. So they basically just cut it in half, adding the extra fuel tank over here and not blocking the gun, right? I don't know why they just don't add these little holder a little bit below it and add the full fuel tank, but engineers, right? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think about the Bhishma and if you agree or not with adding a T90 for the UK. I see you guys in the next one, and bye. See you.